Hi guys, welcome back to the True Feminine YouTube channel. I'm so excited to be here with you all again today. And today we have a topic that is extremely popular. It's a question I get asked all of the time, and that is, why do men ghost? But beyond why do men ghost, people ask, why is it that men come on so strong and then ghost me? What do I do to change that? Or another question is, how do I avoid getting ghosted? So it's really like, how do I avoid getting ghosted, and how and why? Why do men ghost? So in this video, I'm going to offer you 3 key things to understand when it comes to why men ghost, and a couple ways that you can avoid getting ghosted in the future. So if you're new to the channel and you love these topics and you would like more dating help, I am a dating and relationship coach. And go ahead and subscribe to my channel and like the video, all the things that people say. I also have a really big podcast called the True Feminine Podcast, and lots of good stuff on there. But let's dive in to these 3 things. Okay, so number 1, understand that time is the ultimate measure of a person's character and commitment levels. So give yourself 3 to 6 months of dating a man before letting your heart buy into a man's infatuation with you. Okay, what do I mean by this? What I mean by this is that a lot of men will instantly feel infatuation towards you. And in return, a woman will feel this deep level of like connection. For a woman oftentimes feels like commitment. So a woman kind of attaches and commits really quickly when she feels that same interaction and level of infatuation and connection. So what you can do to avoid getting ghosted is understand time. Understand that time is the teller of all things. Time is what is going to guide you and be a guiding light, be a beacon of light. Also, side note, ladies, I'm actually in my kitchen per the usual, and I'm running my dishwasher right now. So if it's noisy, I apologize. And I love you for being here. Let's keep getting into this because this stuff's important. Okay. So time is your best friend. 3 to 6 months. A good teller of time is, have you spent time with this man for 3 to 6 months? 3 on the low side, and if you can't wait 6 months to really watch and observe a man, 3 months is good. So you can still be exclusively dating a man for 3 months while simply observing him and not just falling instantly into him just because he's infatuated with you. So infatuation can last for a long time, but 3 months is a good measure to check to see if this man continues to show up week after week, month after month. That gives you a good timeline of consistency to see if this man is somebody who's going to rise and show up versus someone who just shows up for a few dates and then he disappears. Too many of us are getting really hyped up and excited before we've even gotten past a month, right, of seeing this person. So keep that in mind. That's for you. Okay. So keep your observation mode, stay in observation mode with a man for at least 3 months before you allow your heart to swing wide open and fall hard and fall in love with this person. Now, I want to just be clear here. We do need to open our hearts when we're staying in our feminine. Okay. So it's not about walling up and being this blocked up wall, but it is about managing our emotions and our energy, which is going to lead me into our next 2 tips. Okay. Number 2, understand that a man needs time to come off of his own high from you and your beauty. Yes, this is true. Okay. He's often stuck there. He's stuck in this infatuation. He's stuck in this like awe and like instant attraction to you. And he acts on that initial feeling before he begins to consider all things. Okay. This is oftentimes why a man shows up strong at first and then he disappears. Because once he gets alone, AKA once he's apart from the draw of the feminine essence, he may start to realize and kind of sober up in his mind that he's not actually equipped and ready for something serious, or he can't give to a relationship right now for what a relationship requires. So I hope that makes sense. I'm going to try to sum that up. I'm going to try to kind of rephrase it so you get that. But understanding that a man, this happens so often, a man will just be like, woo, connect, right? They see you, they think you're pretty. Maybe they're on the date, they're having a good conversation with you, they're having a good time with you. Okay. They're drawn into your beauty, they're drawn into your feminine essence. And so they're excited, right? They're excited, they're into you, they're connecting. But once he leaves from you, once he gets away from you, he might be sitting alone in his own thoughts and have a lot of uncertainty inside of himself. He may go home and realize, oh my gosh, like actually I'm super not really prepared for a serious relationship. And oftentimes this is a man just doubting himself and his own ability. And so keep that in mind, because this takes us to number 3, the third thing you must consider when you are trying to avoid being ghosted, or if you are trying to understand why a man comes on strong and disappears. Okay. This is kind of a good segue into number 3. So we'll get into it. But number 3, a man has, this is the truth, a man has his own fears that keep him from desiring commitment. I think as women, we really forget that men also fear commitment, or men fear messing up or failure just as much as we fear it. Or they also fear rejection. They also fear giving their all to something and then it messing up too. So they're struggling inwardly with a lot of the same fears. And their fears oftentimes will get the better of them, causing them to get by themselves, sober up and go, oh my God, I don't think I'm actually ready for this. Get out, right? Like, I'm just not going to pursue because I'm not actually really ready. I mean, I was into her, I liked her, but I'm not really ready right now. Okay. So he oftentimes wants to explore, this happens all the time, but a man oftentimes wants to explore the idea of commitment or marriage, right? He wants to explore the idea of commitment in marriage. But exploring is very different than a deep knowing that he wants to commit for the long haul. So this is where we need to know the difference. Really listen to what he is saying and observe and watch what he is doing. Because so many men will sit on a date, the first date, and say something like, oh yeah, of course I want commitment. Or no, they'll say like, yeah, I want to get married one day. Yeah, I'd like to have kids one day. But what ends up happening is that us girls will go, ooh, he wants to get married. Ooh, he wants to have a kid. Ooh, we're compatible, right? Or, ooh, he wants what I want. This is going well. He's on my path. He's on my track. But what you're not actually hearing is that he didn't say he wants that with you right now. It's just some airy-fairy thought and idea that he's interested in getting to someday. This is where we have to be careful. So we're not just jumping into like, oh, for sure, it's locked in, we're good. Okay. Because our minds will start committing to a man far before a man has ever brought any sort of commitment to the table. This is an imbalance, right? This is you jumping ahead and him falling behind, rather than you pacing yourselves together in alignment. Okay. So I'm going to give you a couple of examples of how this plays out. Okay. So the man might say something like, which I kind of actually just brushed up on, but I'm just going to give you an official little script example for you. But a man might say, I would like to get married and have kids one day. But the translation is he is saying he likes the idea of getting married, but is not saying he wants to marry you anytime soon. And I think that's the kicker. That's where we get a little bit lost, right? He's not saying I want to marry you. He's just saying, in general, sure, I'd like to get married someday, right? Okay. A man also might say something like, Wow, you're amazing wife material. You'd make a great wife one day. Um, you you would make a really great mom. I could see myself with you down the road. Men will literally say all of those things to a woman and then sometimes disappear later on. This is why his words and the flattery that he gives is not always a surefire indicator that you guys are going to be together forever. And that's why you take those as compliments, but you do not take them as, oh my gosh, he is in love with me. He's for sure going to marry me. I've heard this so many times. Girls be like, well, he says all these things. He says I'm amazing. He says like I'd make a great mom one day. And I just, I think it's really going somewhere. And then a lot of times those girls will come back and be like, oh, it didn't work out, or oh, he bounced, he disappeared. So good, those are compliments. Yay for compliments. Woohoo, right? But what they are not is it's not the man asking you for commitment when they say those things. Take the flattery and don't think anything more until or unless he asks you to be exclusive or to be his girlfriend or asks you to be his wife. Okay. All of those things are good. And I have more videos I'll be making more videos, but definitely on my podcast, I have a lot of ways, that a woman can ask a man, what the man actually wants. So I have lots of, instructions, and I'll be putting videos on how to get a man to define the relationship for you. So stay tuned for those. Subscribe if you want more videos like this. Okay. Lastly, I'm going to wrap it up. Okay. Lastly, dating to marry is all about playing the long game. It is the long game, girls. Do not forget that. I think we forget that because we want it to be quicker, right? But oftentimes dating to get to marriage is all about playing the long game. So hear me out. I'm not saying you have to date for years and years before marriage, but I am saying you need to pace your energy levels and manage your emotions wisely, especially in the beginning. Okay. Understand that men will think you're beautiful. They will enjoy your company all at the same time while not wanting to move any sort of relationship forward with you. Okay. They can hold the duality of really being infatuated by you, thinking you're beautiful, thinking you're all these things, but actually not wanting commitment, not wanting to move a relationship forward with you. Don't get it twisted. Until a man is asking you, it's not certain. Or until you ask him for the conversation, which is in videos I'm going to put out. I'll put that video out this week, maybe tomorrow. Okay. Do not assume that you are something unless it has been really clearly stated from the man's mouth. Okay. Okay. This is important to take time to observe while expressing what it is you desire. So we're observing and we're expressing. I'm observing him, what he's doing, what he's saying, how he's showing up. I'm also expressing what it is that I desire. Like, yeah, I really do desire to be a wife one day. I do desire to date with intentionality with somebody and really work towards something that is more serious, all good to say those things. Actually, in fact, it's important to say what you want. Okay. The best thing to do. Okay. So also I want to add before I finish up here is that physical boundaries during this beginning time is super crucial. It's super important. And it is a huge part in pacing yourself. Now, everyone has different levels on what physical boundaries they have, but your best bet, in my opinion, personal opinion, is to not get too physically active, like rushing into bed or something like that with a man right off the bat like that, because that can oftentimes cloud our judgment. It can confuse what we really feel, confuse what a man really feels. He can start to feel like he likes you even more. But then later down the road, he's like, wait a second, I was just actually really into the physical aspect of what we had, but I hadn't but I never had time to really take inventory of the deeper things. So it's good to set the boundaries. It's good to set a good solid foundation of really getting to know each other emotionally, energetically, spiritually, things like that up front. Okay. So I hope this is making sense. The best thing to do to play the long game and to get the guys to lock it down with you is to slow your energy and even some of your excitement down at first. Okay. Don't rush anything and be very clear on what you are looking for. Stay available for the men who give what you are looking for, and stay very unavailable to men who are not sure. If a man is unsure, it's probably not a good match. If he's uncertain, if he's doubting, if he's in, may not be a good match for you. The best match is when a guy really knows, really wants to move the relationship forward, really is coming with clear intentions towards you. I know this can be tough, but it's also extremely doable. And I hope that that was helpful for you. So those were my 3 tips for you today. And hopefully you can keep all of those things in mind, keep that deep understanding as you are in your dating process so that you don't jump ahead of the horse or jump ahead of the cart. I don't know if I'm saying that analogy right, but I think you guys know what I'm saying. Like getting ahead of yourself, right? Or getting ahead of the man before he's even reached the same levels that you are at. So anyway, I hope that was helpful. If you girls love the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll be putting out more and more and more of these. Number one, if you want to stay connected with me on Instagram, TikTok, all the things that will be in the show notes. And last but not least, if you would love to work with me and get massive results in your life, on your dating life, I have so many girls who are getting in serious, wonderful relationships from my course. I have girls getting engaged. I've had so many get married this year alone. So it's amazing what happens when you jump inside of my True Feminine Academy. If you want to join that, the doors are actually open for that right now. And the pre-sale price is up, and that's only up for a couple of weeks. So definitely jump on that. And I would love to have you in my next round as we take on 2023 and really get the dreams you desire. All right. All that's in my show notes. Connect with me. I love you, girls. Talk to you soon. Ciao.